Hello, everyone. I will be presenting to you Coping with Grief, Expressive Journaling Strategies for Professionals, Educators, and Students. My name is Dr. Shannon Harris, and I am an assistant professor at the University of Arizona Global Campus. I currently teach in the Bachelor of Science Health Information Management program in the Department of Health Sciences. In this presentation, we are going to start off talking about grief and its impacts on individuals. Then I'm going to introduce expressive journaling and letter writing, in addition to some of the benefits of letter writing. I am also going to explain the foundation or the theoretical framework of expressive journaling and letter writing. And then I'm going to talk about the letter writing process, how you can get started with this technique. And then I will summarize what I have discussed in this presentation along with a dedication. First, let's talk about grief. Most of us have dealt with grief or know someone that has. I personally had not dealt with grief until my father unexpectedly passed away in September 2024. When that happened, I did not know what hit me. What I have learned in my grief journey is that grief does not discriminate and it can impact absolutely anyone. I have also learned that everyone's grief journey is different. According to the literature, 60% of people who are grieving can gradually heal on their own. However, that remaining 40%, they need some type of psychosocial intervention, such as expressive journaling and letter writing. So, what exactly is this? Exploration of this technique actually dates back to the 1980s, so it is not new. But it is defined as an individual writing down his or her most deepest thoughts and feelings. Expressive journaling is actually one type of journaling. So I have this graph here on the right-hand side that's kind of showing you how these different journaling techniques are categorized and how it trickles down from one to the next. So if you are a journaler, if you have a notebook dedicated to different topics, then you already know the plethora of journaling options out there for you to put your thoughts on paper. Letter writing is a type of expressive journaling technique, and it is unique because it allows an individual to communicate with his or her loved one. It is also used as a therapeutic tool for coping with grief, and it can also be used in professional therapy sessions. A study was conducted on this practice, and participants were tasked with writing a letter to their deceased loved one. After completion of the letters, participants reported increased self awareness and sense and meaning making, which is associated with improvements in behavioral regulation as well as physical and mental health. Additional benefits of letter writing include facilitation of self disclosure. So, an individual writing a letter to their deceased loved one can put their thoughts down. These are thoughts that they might not feel comfortable telling someone else. It may be things that they might have wanted to tell their loved one, but they didn't get an opportunity to do so before that loved one passed away. Letter writing can also help continue the bond that you share between your loved one, but in a different way. So let's talk about the foundation of letter writing or the theoretical framework. That theoretical framework revolves around the dual process model. So the dual process model suggests that grievers should incorporate both loss-oriented and restoration-oriented coping strategies in their grief journey. So this means that it may be a challenge to accept that loss, and you may go through those rough days, but at the same time, those rough days are allowing you to navigate that new normal and create a new sense of identity. And expressive journaling and letter writing can help with that. So, how can one actually get started with this letter writing technique? If you have any old notebook in your home or in your office, you can designate that to journaling, or you can purchase one that's specifically um, utilized for the letter writing process. The journal in the picture is a journal that I was gifted when my father passed away, and I never knew the impact that this journal would have when I received it. The journal can be purchased if you're interested on Amazon, and it's not just exclusive to the loss of a father. There are journals with, for members of the entire family, in addition to the loss of a friend. So once you have designated your journal or your notebook to letter writing, you can determine what you want your letters to be about to your deceased loved one. Some examples of topics might include special memories with you and your loved one that you hold close to your heart that you want to talk about with your loved one. Current events, things that your loved one might be missing out on now that they are no longer physically here on earth. And then just general feelings and emotions around the loss of your loved one. I personally have incorporated all of these topics in a letter to my father. I also have letters that might just be focused on one topic. It just depends on what is on my mind and in my heart on that particular day I am writing the letter. The next thing you want to think about is how often will you write these letters? There is no rule. You can write a letter as many times a day as you want or a couple of times a week. I personally open my journal and write a letter to my father on those days where I am truly missing him when I really need to talk to him. In summary, utilizing expressive journaling techniques, such as letter writing, may positively impact an individual's grief journey. Again, letter writing will allow that individual to disclose those thoughts and feelings that they might not have been able to share. And it will help you continue that bond with your loved one, in addition to helping you restore your normal and create your new identity. Letter writing for me personally has helped me to stay connected to my father, although it's not that same relationship that we shared when he was physically here, but we still do have that bond. And it's given me some sense of peace knowing that I can talk to him whenever I want in the form of that letter. I cannot close this presentation without dedicating it to my beloved father. Throughout my grief journey, I have learned a lot, and I continue to learn as I continue to navigate the journey. What I'm learning, I hope to be able to share with others and help them through their grief journeys as well. These are references that I use throughout the presentation if you are interested in learning more about this technique. Thank you very much.